So the second dish I want to show you was Furmenty. That's spelled F-U-R-M-E-N-T-Y. Now it's a type of spice porridge that was traditionally served at Christmas time in Victorian England. Now Furmenty can be made with either oats or wheat. In northern England, oats were the preferred grain of choice, but in the south, wheat was preferred. Now only wealthy households could afford to add ingredients such as sugar and spice. So for working class households, Furmenty was a real Christmas treat because that was the time that they could have more luxury ingredients into their food. So let's have a look at the ingredients. So for my Furmenty, I'm using spelt, a type of wheat that soaks up liquid easily. You need 140 grams of spelt or oats if you prefer. You need ground almonds. I've put here 2 tablespoons. You need milk. I put 150 millilitres. You need water. You need dried fruit of your choice. I'm using raisins, but you could use sultanas or cherries. I'm using sugar to taste. I prefer the taste of soft brown sugar, so that's what I'm using. You need eggs, maybe 1 to 2, depending on the size. And then you will add your spices of choice. I'm using cinnamon, nutmeg, and ginger. But if you're feeling really fancy, you could also add saffron. So the first thing to do is take your grains, I'll spelt here, and add it to a pan. And the next thing to do is add your water. Now you can add up to 350 millilitres of water into your grains. After you've added your water, add your milk. So now what you need to do is give that a good stir and pop it back on the hob. So pop it on the hob on a medium heat and just keep an eye on it and keep stirring it to make sure it doesn't stick. What you're waiting for is the moment when the spelt has absorbed all of that liquid, or the majority of it, and it's lovely and soft. If all the liquid is gone and the spelt's still hard, just add a little bit more. Now that stage should take between 10 to 30 minutes. If you've got oats though, it will be a little quicker. Now, whilst we're waiting for that spelt to soften a little bit, why don't we check on the baked apples? Let's see how they're getting along. Oh well, they smell delicious, but they're not quite done. Still a little bit hard. You know your baked apples are done when they're soft, but not quite mushy. Let's pop them back in. Okay, so now we're going to add our chosen spices whilst that spelt is softening up a little bit. Now I'm going to add half a teaspoon each of cinnamon, nutmeg and ginger. And then give that a really good stir through and pop it back on the heat. So that spelt is almost softened, and at this stage we want to add in some more ingredients to add some flavour. So let me get that off the hob. So first of all, I'm going to add in my dried fruit. As I said, I've chosen raisins for this. So grab a handful and sprinkle them in. Next, we want to add some ground almonds, and you want to add 2 tablespoons. Now this will add flavour as well as thicken up the liquid. And finally, we want to add some sugar according to your own taste. Now I've got quite a sweet tooth, so I'm going to add in a tablespoon of soft brown sugar. Then give that a really good stir so that all combines, and then pop it back onto the hob. So the last thing to add to our Furmenty is a beaten egg. Now, you don't want to add the egg when the Furmenty is too hot, so I'm just going to get off the hob and pop it on the table just so it cools a little bit. Now adding the beaten egg gives it a lovely silky texture, but as I say, if you add it when it's too hot and then leave it in there, it might go a little bit like scrambled eggs. So we're going to beat it first. Okay, then we'll beat that up. And then you add that beaten egg into the Furmenty, but stir it really quickly. And then we put it back on the hob to continue cooking. Right, so I think the Furmenty's done, but of course we mustn't forget about our baked apples. Let's check on them. Well, I think these look done. If you push them, they're slightly soft and you can see the skin there slightly cracked, but they're not too mushy. So perfect. Let's slide them across there. Okay, now I'm going to serve these just on my plate here. Lovely. And when you cut into them, all of that filling will come out. Now, as I said earlier, Furmenty can be served with either sweet or savoury dishes, but I think I'm going to serve it here with my baked apple. So this looks ready. So unfortunately, I think it's time for you to go and for me to eat.